It's James here with Cedar Rapids Web Design. I am just chilling at the Nubo City Market. Got myself a coffee from Roasters. If you don't know, Roasters is open even when the rest of the market is closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. So it's my favorite coffee shop. I love coming here, especially on Mondays when it's quiet because everything else is closed. So the reason I'm here today is I need to get started on a new website, and I thought it would be kind of cool to just document the initial step, which is to create a new cPanel and install WordPress the hard way. Why do I say the hard way? Because typically if you have like a shared hosting environment with GoDaddy or something like that, they have something installed that allows you to easily install WordPress with just a couple clicks of a button. I do not have that because I am cheap and that costs money, and installing WordPress the hard way only takes a couple minutes anyways, so I don't mind doing it. And I thought it would be kind of cool to just document that in case anybody was curious what it's like to create a new cPanel and install WordPress the long way. So that's what I'm going to do. The very first step, of course, and I've already done this, is to go and update the domain name and make sure that it's pointing in the right direction. I'm going to create a new website, and let's see here. There it is. I'm calling it new.cedarrapidswebdesign.com. And so I created an A record for new, made sure it's pointing towards my server's IP address. I did that yesterday just to make sure that everything finished propagating and would be ready to go by the time I was ready to do this. So the next step, of course, is to create the new cPanel. So I am logged in to my WHM account, which is something that you use to manage multiple cPanel accounts. And that's how I operate. I create a brand new cPanel for every website that I create, rather than some people will host many websites under one cPanel. I prefer to do one brand new cPanel for every website. That way I can easily give my client full cPanel access if I want to, and I don't have to worry about them being able to mess up any other websites. They can have full control over the website, and I think some clients appreciate that. So step one, I got to tell it what the domain name is, new.cedarrapidswebdesign.com. Let's just go new Cedar for the username. Throw in a password, my email address, and then we just ignore all these settings for the most part and hit create. Give that a few seconds. Okay, so we now have a new cPanel for new.cedarrapidswebdesign.com. Now we need to go ahead and download WordPress, which is pretty easy. We go to wordpress.org, click download up here, click download. And there we go, WordPress. Save that. Now to get to our cPanel, it's pretty easy. You just type in your domain name, new.cedarrapidswebdesign.com/cPanel. Type in the username. Did I say it was new Cedar? The password that I chose. Here's our cPanel. Now this is the point where in a lot of shared hosting accounts, you will actually see an option to install WordPress. This is done a number of ways. There's an app called Softaculous. There's another one called Installatron. These both are things you can install into your cPanel that make installing other apps easy. Here's a screenshot of a GoDaddy cPanel account. You can see here, web applications, WordPress, right? I don't have that, like I said, because it costs money and I'm cheap. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that screenshot, come back to our cPanel, and I'm going to show you how to install WordPress the hard way. Now we're even in fun. Going best spot and put it in the next seconds. Double scan. And do this. But use it. And have to then go to this. It's on the use spot. So see new neighborhood updates. You like them or not for almost the type of other I saw it. As staying new in days full days. Oh, you know, base campaign. The rest is new that is fill in everything. So I'm done here. And if you give some briefs on board clip, Davis and some I'm just gonna go password 1 2 3. All right, and create user. Go back. Now, remember I said earlier that even now that we've created a user, it doesn't mean it's attached to anything. We need to come all the way down to the bottom. We're going to add the user we just created to the database we just created. So here's the user, here's the database. Click add, give the user all the privileges. That's it. So now the database is set up. The database has a name, the database has a username, and the database has a password. Did I click that? Yep. Okay. So now that we have all that information, we're going to go back to the file manager. We're going to open this config file. And we're going to go to those 3 bits of information. Database name. Remember, we named it new Cedar _database _database. The username was new Cedar _database _user. And the password was super clever. Password 1 2 3. Okay, we'll hit save. Now that we've done this, assuming I typed everything in correctly, our website should be attached to our database, and we'll find out if that worked in a second by simply going to our new domain name, and it should begin the WordPress installation process. Yep, perfect. So that means we typed everything right. We're good to go. We're going to hit continue, give it a site name. Cedar Rapids Web Design, username, password. Yes, very clever. Confirm use of password. Again, hack away, I don't care. And hit install. This should just take a few seconds. There you go. And that's it. We just installed created a new cPanel and installed WordPress. We can now go to the login page, username, password, and there's our WordPress dashboard. So if you've never done any of this before, I'm sure all that looked very confusing, but in the end, at least what you can take away from that is how that was not that hard. Even installing WordPress the hard way really isn't that hard. It doesn't take that long. If you understand the basics about web design and databases. I don't know anything about databases. I'm not going to go in and build a custom database. I don't know things about SQL, but I know enough to create a database, give it a username, give it a password, connect it to WordPress. It's just a few basics required to install WordPress absolutely the hardest way possible. Most of the time, you won't need to do any of that stuff. Like I said, you'll just click the WordPress icon, give it a name, a login, username, and password, and hit install, and it's going to do all that stuff for you. It's going to set the database up for you. It's going to give it a username, password, connect them, all that stuff for you. But I just thought it might be fun for some of y'all nerds out there to see how it's done the hard way. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this random little video. And if you're in the Cedar Rapids area and you like coffee, definitely don't forget to stop by Roasters in Newbo, in the Newbo City Market. Thanks.